top line of that depth chart? I mean, I know you started for these guys last year, but you had to do a quick turnaround.
You know, it's one of those things where, you know, as a personal goal for me, I was excited to, you know, be the #1 safety. But as far as our team, it really doesn't really matter. You know, this week, you know, it might be just me and Antonio out there starting with the ones. Next week it could be Antonio or Deontay or Antonio or Aaron or any of those guys. We have the luxury we have in that room is we have a lot of safeties that can play. So, you know, all of us are interchangeable. We all have strengths, different weaknesses. So, you know, we can all play with each other and we're all work well with each other. Same as far as the corners also.
Scott Frost said, or maybe they're Chenander, that basically when it's going well, you need like 2 lines, almost like hockey lines.
Exactly.
How would you describe it as someone who's been through this defense?
The thing is, this offense goes really fast. You know, I remember last year we'd be on the field probably 7-8 minutes, and they'd go out there and score in 30 seconds. So, you know, that's a short recovery, and, you know, guys are on special teams. So you got to be able to have that depth behind you and have guys that can go in and roll in and get a good amount of reps. So, you know, it's just not really just ones. We taught, yeah, we have ones, but our 2s are ones also, and even some of our 3s, they're ones also. They got to be ready for it. So the game plan, we kind of game plan with everybody just coming up and being ready to play.
You have a unique perspective because you were at UCF for Frost's first year, now Nebraska for his first year.
Yes, sir.
Can you kind of compare the situations? What you say Nebraska is compared to Central Florida?
Yes, sir.
Year one?
The thing that I've noticed the most is it's not even the players, it's the coaches. The first year, that was kind of the first, I've told a lot of people this, that was the first year that they were together and kind of worked together. So it was they were trying to feel out each other while also feeling out the players and, you know, how to run practice and stuff like that. Now, being it's year 1 here, it's really year 3 for them working together. So there's a smoothness and a calmness about their demeanor that, you know, it carries over in practice. And, you know, that's something that helps us as a group. You know, with some of these guys are new to it. So, you know, just seeing them so calm and positive, and, you know, how they're attacking everything, it rubs off on the players, and that allows us to do it.
You also have unique insight into Coach Frost.
Yes, sir.
Seen him at UCF and now here. Obviously, he's a lot. I'm sure he's 99% the same guy, but now he's back home in his alma mater. Have you seen any sort of small glimmers and moments where he kind of communicates that to you guys, how much this means to him?
I think I first saw it when Grant Windstrom and Jason Peters came and talked to us. You know, at UCF he talked about those guys, but, you know, we didn't really know too much about them just from being down south. You know, but he spoke very highly of them there. But actually getting to see when they came and the fire that they brought, you could see that passion in his eyes. I sit in the back, so he sits kind of next to me, and I looked over at him, and you could just see the fire in his eyes when those guys were speaking. It felt like, you know, it was just different, you know, and that was something that that was the first time I saw how much it means to him to be back here.
What are you kind of expecting from him on Saturday, given that it's kind of an evening game, he's back home, and, you know, what are you expecting to see? What should your teammates expect, and what should fans expect from him?
They should expect, you know, he's a very calm guy under those kind of in situations. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the first drive he brings some, you know, crazy play out there, you know, just to let everybody know that he's back. You know, that's just the kind of guy he is. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out there, you know, he's excited and he's going for it, man. I think that's the great thing about him is he's not afraid of stuff. You know, he attacks everything full speed. He doesn't care what's going on about the situation.
But he's still.
Yeah, you can't really tell on his face a lot, but, you know, in the meetings a lot, he's very energetic guy, and he's very, you know, rah kind of guy too.
Lining up against your offense here for the last month and a half, what are you seeing?
These guys, they're moving fast. You know, as far as year 1 at UCF versus year 1 here, these guys, they're ahead of the curve. You know, I wasn't expecting that getting here. You know, there's a very talented group of guys, especially, you know, the skill players. You know, the quarterback, the running back, the receivers, and the tight ends. They're really skilled guys. You know, it's taking them a little bit just to kind of get in the system and get as far as the speed of things. You know, because they don't really understand how fast it really goes. Because Coach Frost, he's trying to get them to get in that. This thing goes fast. So I think that's the only thing. But as far as talent-wise, these guys, they have it. We have a lot of talent on offense.
You saw a young quarterback grow up and hurry at UCF. But with Adrian, what stood out to you about him the first few weeks?
His poise, you know, it's hard. You know, he's an 18-year-old kid, and, you know, he's actually my locker buddy. So, you know, I try to give him a little tips here and there. But just, you know, the poise he keeps as far as, you know, his demeanor throughout practice. You know, 18-year-olds with 22-year-old guys, 23-year-old guys running around, you know, yelling, barking at each other, you know, that can overwhelm guys. And, you know, there's similar to how McKenzie was, you know, it doesn't bother them. And I think that's what makes them special. You know, Adrian, he's going to be a really special player here. But, you know, just kind of keeping him under control when, you know, on Saturday. And I tell him it's a totally different beast when there's 90,000 people and, you know, you can't hear anything. I said that. But as far as practice is going, he's been very calm and very, very poised for an 18-year-old.
Did you just talked about the offensive and the curve with the offense. What about defensive players, talent-wise, and a curve right now?
Yeah, there's a lot of talented guys. Like I spoke earlier, we have 6 safeties that can play right now, and I know we have 4 or 5 guys that can play and start at corner. The linebackers are very deep. I know you saw on the depth chart there's a whole bunch of oars because there's honestly a lot of guys that can do it. So, that's the first time I've seen so many oars on the defensive depth chart. But a lot of those guys have the ability to be ones, and that's kind of just what I've been trying to tell them. It doesn't really matter if you're a 1 or if you're a 2, you're going to play. So you're going to be out there with the ones. There's going to be a group out there where you're out there mixing and matching, so you just got to know your stuff and attack it like you're the best out there.
How would you describe Antonio's game and Deontay's game? Because those might be the guys that are paired with you.
Oh, those guys, they're very physical players, That's one of the first things I noticed about them. They're very physical, and their movement skills are they move very well for how their size. Antonio, he's 215, and he moves like a little guy. Deontay, he's pretty about around 200 also, and he moves pretty well also. So that's the first thing that popped up to me about that. And just their knowledge of the defense. They've only been at it for about 8 months, and they're already making checks and making stuff that honestly in our first year at UCF people weren't making those checks. So I think that speaks to the volume that they put in over the summer of just trying to get in the playbook and stuff like that.
Trey, we've heard a lot of Eric Schneider's of being aggressive, play caller. What is it like when you're on the field? Are you expecting him to play caller?
Yeah, definitely. Playing in this defense, it kind of, the no fear of failure, it kind of forces you to take chances. Of course, there's going to be times where you get beat, but that's just the nature of the game. Sometimes you're going to get beat, sometimes you're going to make a spectacular play, and I think that he's a very smart guy. So the odds he puts against, he wants you to take that chance because you would want to rather take that chance than be afraid to not do it. Because when it's time to make that play, you're not going to do it. So that's why we preach it so much, just to attack and make plays.
Thank you, Trey.
No problem.